Hey, welcome back to Style Reviews. What we're taking a look at is MakeToys, their MT Combiner Series MTCM-04A Axle. And if you like what you see in this review, go ahead, order yours, TF Source. Link is in the description or tfsource.com, however you want to do it. But starting off the bat, this is of course one of the combiner limbs to Guardia, which is their defensor bot. I've got next to him Ripper, which is a repaint of their blind fire mode from their Quantron or Computron combiner. He is significantly taller, even though Guardian matches up to Quantron and the rest of the MakeToy Fans Project combiners. The individual limbs are apparently going to be a bit bigger. So you're looking at about 5.5 inches compared to just under 5, about 4.75. While I knock stuff over. So 5.5, 4.75, that's about 3/4 of an inch between the two. So we're gonna go ahead and get him out of the way. And I don't know what the decision was behind them deciding to make the limbs bigger, but you know, more power to them. It's nice to see some variety between them instead of having them literally all the exact same size. Peg that in. Alright. Here is Axle. What comes in the box is Axle and its gun. I like it. Very simple. I prefer it. So, get that out of the way for a second. Just rotating this guy. And the way he's set up with kind of the more disjointed look, he looks a lot more complex than he actually is. I mean, the thing's hella posable and fun to play with, so don't be intimidated by the way he looks off the bat. It's deceiving. Taking a look at the box styling is different, and that's why I'm showing it. This is more of a square box. You know, this is the first MakeToys combiner actually that's not a box set, or at least in 2-packs, because the Yellow Giant originally came in 2-packs. Yeah, so individual full-on boxes, no plastic cards or anything like that. Pretty cool layout. Reminds me a lot of the MakeToys website, and if you haven't checked that out, maketoys.jp. Check out a lot of their storylines, upcoming figures, etc., etc. Now, looking at the figure, just the posability here. Ball jointed head. Now, the waist swivel's kind of funny. He does have it, but it's actually behind the chest here. It's hard to point out, but has it. Not really the best. And for now, this is kind of bugging me, so we're going to take that off. Doesn't really matter, but it's normally where ab crunch would be, so limited swivel because of the transformation and stuff like that. He doesn't have an actual separated waist, but it's cool that they have that posability in there in the first place. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel, standard 5mm peg hands. Now, this is an area where it looks disjointed, but it's not too bad. The thighs are set up on swing joints, so they don't have the normal balls or anything like that, but it still has plenty of forward swing, limited back swing, and of course, full side to side swing. Let's see. This is my first time actually trying this, but let's see if we can balance. There we go. Works for me. Okay, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and these feet here, plenty of tilt in the front of the foot, and I love the distance between the front of the foot and the heel. So plenty of balance, like you just saw right there. First time even trying that kick pose. Got to take a picture of that for kumastyle.com, which of course you can check out the pictorial review of this afterwards. Now let's take a look at him with the weapon in hand. Really cool, big gun. It actually said on TFW that I was looking at this, and between the face sculpt and just the fact that it turns into more of the stereotypical police style motorcycle, it reminds me a lot of RoboCop. So let's take a look at it. It's got that visor, it's got that chin guard there. So I definitely see the similarities myself. Let me know what you guys think, of course. But I love it. I love this weapon. I really do. Just a big old simple gun. And I like with the double jointed elbows and stuff like that, he can actually do the holster in there. Tilt the head some. And it's a well-engineered figure. For its robot mode, you know, the bike portion here, that kibble, it's out of the way enough to get full rotation of the head, get your hand in there, etc., etc. This one's well done. I do dig it. There's robot mode, let's get it transformed. Alright, now starting the transformation, we're actually going to preface this with saying that the instructions come with a lot of steps. You see all these little swings and this and that. We'll go through it step by step. It's actually really quick. It's not as intimidating as it looks at all. Don't worry. Okay, you got your figure, you're ready. The first step, I don't know how well this is going to show on camera, and that piece just keeps falling out. Part of me wants to glue it. I'm going to find out if it can permanently be there or if it needs to come off for something. So that thing's done. But anyways, this part right here, this gray piece, it slides back. So get that separated, and I'm trying to do it so you guys can see it. I don't know how noticeable that was, but it does have a slit there, and it slides back. Alright? That's step one. Alright. And from the same viewpoint, you could actually do step two. Underneath the seat piece here, there's a little flap that flips out. Step two. Now we're back to the front. These two chest panels slide down and come together. So it's pretty standard stuff. A lot of Transformers have stuff like this, so you're used to that like pivot thing by now, I'm sure. We're actually going to do the next 3 or 4 steps all in one. There's no point to missing out. These two pieces of the foot, alright, put them down, and you can still stand them, so don't worry about that part. And from there, on each side, both of these bottom pieces come up, twist, they're on a ball joint, and just bring them in. Bring them in. There you go. And in the instructions, that's like 3 or 4 steps. For this next part, we're going to take a couple of steps, combine them into one real quick. The handles, they fold upward like so. Then it wants you to take this, fold it forward, as well as that. And throughout this transformation, you can still adjust these. They're not like locked into place at any point during this, so if you don't get it exactly right, that's no problem. You can do it at the end. Again, we're going to combine a couple of steps here. Simple. You just bend them at the knees here. Bend them at the knees. That piece, you put it on, thinking it'd work with me. It's not. Alright, so you got them bent 90 degrees. From there are 2 pieces. You see these slits here where the knees go through? To lock the knees back, you push those parts in. Okay? Now, how do you get those back out for robot modes? They go in pretty tight. This piece here, just push it out. Okay? Oops, I'm blocking it. In. Take that button, push it out. Okay? In for the final time, covering that back up. Just remember that. Ugh. Alright, now, for the instructions, you bring these 2 pieces, let me lift that up. There are 2 hinge pieces here. You just bring them up and around. It's easy to do it at the same time, or try to, you know, as best you can. So nothing blocks or touches each other. Just bring those all the way up. And bring these in. They go all the way in. So if you look from the back side here, those pieces went from flared out and down to the bottom. Alright, see? 2 all the way in. So you can tell when you have them pressed right. Alright? Now, push that piece back in. That flap, This is where you're going to have to do a little bit of finagling. Nothing too crazy. But this piece has to fit inside this area right here. So, I'm going to make it work. This is another area to where once you get it and get it locked in good, you can adjust it. So, because even I don't know the exact way to do the knee bend and stuff like that. Like, see, that one went on just fine. Now I'm trying to bring this one forward and match it. But it's not wanting to work with me quite right. Supposed to go together. There we go. I don't know if you saw what I just did there. Maybe you don't even have to do that part first. But it was out. I just put the knees together, and once I bend it in, it just falls in place. So actually you could do it knees in first, and then that piece. You just have to make sure this gray part goes inside, and everything's all lined up. From there, you're going to bring these feet up, feet and heels if the heels aren't already up, and then there are pegs on the side of the bike right there. There are holes, if you can't see them right there. Just line up the holes to the peg. And that'll just start it. Boom. Boom. You're golden. I did forget to say, once you've got these two pieces pegged in on the sides, the wheel is naturally going to come together. So, there you go. And this foot area, we'll worry about that in a little bit. That's one of the last steps, actually. Okay. From there, this hand, his right hand, is going to be on your left side. 180 with the wrist. Bend it up. This hand, flip it in, 45-degree flip. This, and the panel, if it wants to work for you. Flips down, redo that. So you can see what you got here. Now, the way you want the arms lined up, get them like so. The double hinge there. This piece on the back of the arm actually moves in a little bit and it lines up like so. Those two steel pieces there. We'll do the same on the other side. Get that. And that we might have to do a little bit of adjusting because it goes down into the side, but we'll see. It might be perfect. I don't know. But the cool part about this is, you know, as long as you've got the basic configuration right, you can go ahead and adjust it as you start to put the pieces together and stuff like that. But there we go. That's what we're looking at for the arms. Alright, you've got the arms right now. So what you're doing, you're taking that shoulder hinge, bringing it down. Bringing it down. And this is where you may have to do some adjusting and stuff like that. Like I was just saying. There's a peg here. And it's hard to see, but there's an indent in there as well. To go with the peg here on his arm. It's on both arms. And there's also a hole right there. So you'll notice when that arm, that wrist, is folded up like so, it does not want to play right. What I do, take it, just bend it out a little bit, and then at the end you can bring it back. But I fit that under there first. And see, everything just pegs in nice and right. And from there, underneath, I can just bring that. And the sides, they're going to line up too, right there. So, doing the same thing with the other arm here. Just making sure everything lines up and clips in. Feels good about life. There we go. There we go. And it lines up nice. Everything looks good. Feels good. I can finally put this piece back on in peace, I think, and it should look pretty cohesive underneath too. Alright, and now we've got this here. The head, just 180. The neck's on the hinge too, so you can bring the head in. Bring the front of the bike forward. Bring the handlebars down. And just rotate the wheel. Make sure that it's forward. And there you go. It's got a kickstand on his right arm. So you can just go ahead and put that there. If you want to store the weapon, just goes. Of course, this is the part I get stomped on. What the heck? Upside down, and it pegs on either side. So if you want to do it underside, you just peg it right there. Or if you want to do it the other way, you just have to flip it over and around. So there you go. Let's check out the alt mode. Alright, now we're taking a look at the alt mode here. Just for comparison, we've got Vans Project's T-Bone. By it, lengthwise, they're pretty much the exact same. So unfortunately, that puts him out of scale in terms of bike to car. But would you really want a bike that's that tiny? You know, so the little midget imaginary men that don't exist can fit on there. But yeah, the same length that puts them in scale to be the same length as this is as a limb. They're all pretty much the same size. Their combiners are, I believe, Guardia Defensor is going to be their biggest to date. We're not going to take a look at the leg mode in this review because there's a piece that I think comes with their Defensor that I think it's Vulcan might be the name for their version, but there's an add-on piece that comes with him that needs to be attached for it to go into leg mode. So now looking at that, but taking a look at this, it does come with a flip-out stand, which is really cool. It's got that Cybertronian vibe to it, but still very real-world at the same time. Now, that's how the gun goes in. It pegs in on the side. Mine's a bit loose in the peg. Probably polish that up, but it's not too bad. It holds, but when I'm rocking it back and forth, it's just not working out like that. But I mean, it looks good. It has 2 rolling wheels, and yeah, I really have no complaints about this alt mode. We'll just leave it off. Handle that later. But I like it. I really look forward to the next in their MTCM MakeToys Combiner series. This is 04. I don't know if 01. Oh yeah, 01, 02 Giant Quantron or whatever. So looking forward to the next in this. I don't know who it's going to be, but from the quality of this one, it looks like they're going to be pretty cool standalone figures as well. This has been another Kuma Style review. Order yours, tfsource.com, and also take a look at the pictorial and written review on my site, kumastyle.com. Just click the info button, should be about right there or something like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments as well. I'll see you guys next review.